Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny. Now, remember, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all the information I have in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And this is my review of this great, phenomenal movie that came on Lifetime. And I am talking about the Clark Sisters, the First Ladies of Gospel. This was a really good TV movie. I was moved throughout the entire film, and it was it really tugged at me deeply. I mean, because a lot of us are big fans of the Clark Sisters. They're legendary. Me even growing up in North Carolina, I mean, I heard about the Clark Sisters all the time. I mean, shoot. Even the full gospel choir of the church I grew up in, they used to sing the Clark Sisters songs. So the Clark Sisters has been a part of my upbringing, as well as many others, and it was great to really see the true story of how the Clark Sisters came to be, and I can honestly say Eugene A. Ellis, who played the role of Dr. Maddie Mars Clark, you delivered. I mean, she deserves an Emmy nomination, and that is just hands down. She did a phenomenal job in this role, playing Dr. Maddie Mars Clark. I mean, she was a no-nonsense woman. She is a pioneer in choir directory throughout the country. I mean, till to this day, we have soprano, alto, and tenors. I mean, that is Dr. Maddie Mars Clark, and what she did with her daughters was just a trailblaze. It was just like a trailblazer throughout. I mean, these women, changed the face of gospel music, and the fact that they had such great harmonies and that their voices blend together, she truly understood the whole idea of creating that one voice where all voices come together to make one. And it's just phenomenal of what she did with her daughters, Jackie, Twinkie, Dorinda, Denise, and Karen. I mean, they really. I think like last week I saw a concert. The one that they actually showed parts of the concert in the movie, and I was just moved. Of how such sheer talent and how God literally has had their hand on them and on their lives. I mean, they've definitely faced a lot of trials and tribulations, including Dr. Maddie Mars Clark with her marriage to Reverend Clark, and how it literally turned very dark and very turbulent. But she had a sense that once she saw how it was affecting her daughters, she decided to get out of that relationship. And there was a lot of jealousy and envy that was going on there, because he was a bishop, and yet she was, not only a choir director, but she was pretty much the spokesperson, for all of the different conventions. She would go and work with all the choirs from different churches that were part of the branch of the United Church of Christ. And that started to cause friction, because he wanted her to be by his side because she was also a first lady. But Dr. Maddie Mars Clark was more than just a first lady. She was a pioneer. And for her to be in a marriage where the husband wanted to dominate rather than understand, it did nothing but create havoc, especially for the kids. So when she divorced him and started to really work with her girls, and how their careers just flourished because of the hard work and determination that she showed them. But Dr. Maddie Mars Clark was no joke. Oh, if you sang a wrong note or if you were chewing gum, that shoe came flying over your head, because she would throw a shoe at you. She ain't play. And it also shows that even after they started to achieve fame and success, there were also challenges that each of the girls faced. One being Denise, who, while she was a part of the group, had 3 children out of wedlock, and that caused friction amongst her sisters as well as with her mother. And you also had Twinkie, who, from the age of 9, has been going with her mother from convention to convention, accompanying her, playing the organ, working on the music. I mean, Twinkie really was like the Quincy Jones of the Clark sister family. I mean, she really was like, she knew how to arrange, she knew how to write, she knew how to produce. She was like the mastermind. And the fact that she wanted to have a life outside of that, so like when her sister started to get married and she was the only one that was still single, she definitely dealt with that. And I remember in her in the unsung episode, which was the very first unsung episode, I would never forget it. She talked about how she just wanted a regular life like everyone else. She wanted to have a husband and have kids and wanted to do those things. But we see that she ends up getting, deciding to leave the group to marry this guy, and he turned out to be anything but good because he was a trip. But then we also see Karen and Drew's relationship. Drew Sheard, the Reverend Drew Sheard, and it was also cool that that Kiki actually played her mother in the TV movie, and they couldn't get anybody better to play a young version of Karen, but her daughter, because she literally is the next generation of the Clark sisters. So to see her play her mom was everything. She did a great job, and seeing how her and Drew met and how their relationship is still strong to this day. She's still a first lady, and she also sings. She's also a solo artist, as well as still sings with the Clark sisters. So it was cool to see Karen's story. I mean, Karen was the Michael Jackson of the Clark sisters. She was the it factor, because I mean, Karen's voice is just out of this world. And there's no mistaking that they inspired Escape, because on that first album of Escape, they did Is My Living in Vain, and those harmonies are everything. So I mean, the Clark sisters have inspired so many. This movie was also produced by Mary J. Blige, Missy Elliott, and Queen Latifah. Three phenomenal entertainers who definitely were inspired by the Clark sisters. I can even say myself that I've been inspired by them as well. I mean, they have really been a part of my upbringing. I love their music. I definitely remember growing up in North Carolina hearing their music all the time. And my grandmother was a huge fan of the Clark sisters too. I mean, when they decided to come back together after years of them being on hiatus, they decided to come back together to do that album. I think it came out in the early 2000s. My grandmother played that album out. Trust. I mean, so it was just such a great film, because we really got to see the story of the Clark sisters, and we really got to see some of the challenges they had to face. Some of them facing health scares like Karen. And the fact that even through some of the dark times, they never lost their faith, they never lost their belief. And even after the great Dr. Mattie Mars Clark passed away in 1994, they still kept her legend going. What she put together is still intact to this day. I mean, the girls definitely have had their trials and tribulations, but they have always come together, and they never forgot the fundamentals, the principles, and the spirituality that their mother planted in them. So this was a great movie. I definitely encourage you guys to see it. If you didn't see it tonight, you definitely DVR it, or whatever it is you got to do. You need to see this movie, because in the times that we're living in right now, we need the Lord more than ever, and we need to lean on Him, because only He can see you through the darkness. Only He can see you through the trials and tribulations of life. So, yes, this movie gets a 2 thumbs up for me. Again, Eugen A. Ellis, who played Dr. Mattie Mars Clark, she definitely needs to win every single award that she's up against. I mean, give her an NAACP, give her an Emmy, whatever, all the TV awards that are available. Definitely y'all need to nominate her, because she played that part. I mean, because I remember in the Unsung episode, they described their mother. She nailed her. It was literally as if Dr. Maddie Mars Clark came back to life. I mean, her performance of that Dr. Maddie Mars Clark, what I would say is, it kind of reminds me of when Jennifer Lopez played Selena. She literally brought the essence of this woman on screen, and it was as if that Dr. Maddie Mars Clark came back to life. And I was here for it because she was a no-nonsense mother. She didn't play around. She didn't, sugarcoat anything. She told it to you straight. I mean, even when she got into controversy with the United Church of Christ because she performed with her daughters at the Grammy Awards, she stood up for herself. And she was a fighter. But she realized that because she had put herself on a secular stage, even though they were singing gospel music, the church frowned upon that. So from that point on, she could no longer perform with her daughters. And you saw when they were about to perform, and the mother told them to go, and Maddie had told them to go on, and they were saying, "Mom, come on." And it was like, "No, just go." And we saw how it broke her heart that she could no longer perform with her babies, because she did love her girls, and she wanted to do what was best for them. And I really thank her for the hard work that she put in with her daughters, because we wouldn't have the Clark sisters if it wasn't for the great Dr. Maddie Mars Clark. So that's what I have, y'all. Get down in those comments and let me know what your thoughts was. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this movie. I thought it was executed very well. The acting was great, because sometimes with these Lifetime movies, it's either a hit or a miss. This was truly a hit. And I think the Salt and Pepper movie is coming soon, so I'm definitely looking forward to check that out too. So that's what I have, y'all. Get down in those comments, let me know your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.